Well, good evening, everyone, and happy holidays to everybody. It's been a long time since I've personally done a video forecast discussion, sometime back in late August, actually. All of the month of September, October, November, and up till tonight, this is the first video forecast discussion that I've done, mainly because of time restraints. I've been using a lot more of Twitter and Facebook to get the post out. And we've been updating our websites using Eastern PA Weather Authority's video forecast discussions. But I've decided after a lot of harangue from many folk that you would like my voice again and my discussions back. And so we've decided to start that tonight. And we've decided to do it with a beautiful picture of a cabin with our Christmas tree here and of course, our fireplace all lit up with log cabin with logs here on the fire. And of course, we've got this beautiful dog that's sleeping here in the corner of the couch. And of course, we've got Garden State weather where it's precipitating on the wall here and also precipitating outside. We saw some of this today, but most of it changed to rain and then ended. We're going to get into a lot of things that are going to be talked about this evening in the video forecast discussion. It's going to be a long one, so get your coffee or beverage of choice with your evening dinner or snack at hand. We've got a lot to talk about. I'm forecaster Robert Smith for GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. And this is the in-depth video forecast discussion for Monday, the 12th of December, 2016. And we'll start things out this evening at the 5 o'clock hour. We basically got clear to part the cloudy skies across the region. We had a cold front pass through earlier this afternoon. We have an occluded front here, which is going to be making a way through the region during tonight. We can already see temperatures and winds being reinforced out of the west here. We've already got lake effect snow enhancement here coming off of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario as well. And a colder air mass is overall building into the forecast region this evening. We had temperatures this afternoon which got into the 40s, as you can see right now, and apparently temperatures are already falling back with those clear to part the cloudy skies and lighter winds into the 30s across the forecast region this evening at 5 p.m. We've got small craft advisories on the coastal waters of Jersey until 6 a.m. Tuesday, for Long Island until 1 o'clock on Tuesday, South Shore and east ends of Long Island also until around 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Visible satellite imagery this evening at 5 o'clock shows generally clear skies across the Hudson River Valley area into Connecticut, all of New York and Long Island now, and also all of New Jersey, most of eastern Pennsylvania, but you can see this grayer, lighter grayer type cloud cover here. That's advecting off of the Great Lakes where the water temperatures are extremely warm, and hence the enhancement on Doppler this evening, which is showing some precipitation bands coming in over that. Now, also, the one thing is the satellite is passing overhead at the same time. So that's the reason why you see this discontinuity here in the gradient of cloud cover here as the satellite is passing through on this particular image. Water vapor channel shows lots of dry air, sinking air in the atmosphere for clearing skies. And we've got some moisture feeds still to the south and west, and also what was the remnants of the storm system and frontal boundary that passed off the east coast this afternoon. And with that westerly trajectory, we're already finding snow bands across Lake Erie and Lake Ontario here, inbound towards central and southeastern New York State this evening. None of that precipitation is expected for our region, with dominance of generally clear to partly cloudy skies across the region early this evening. Now, of course, as of today, earlier today, the National Weather Service offices were updating their public information statements, and that's why on the national grid here, or the EDD grid, we can see the snowfall accumulations widespread. Our area was divided with snow to start, with the highest elevations receiving a couple of inches of snow before going over to ice early this morning, and predominantly throughout early morning hours as the warm front moved in and warmer temperatures aloft moved in, everything changed to freezing rain and ice, which made the morning commute a little bit difficult. But by the mid-morning hours, everything was in check, and we really just had some school delays, actually. We didn't find any school closings. And this is an example of sometimes when these things happen like this early in the season, the coastal plain is still too warm and we don't have any blocking in the northern Atlantic, so everything just turns over from snow to start as high pressure moves off the coast. The Arctic air retreats and warm air aloft takes over, works down to the surface. Initially, it turns the precipitation to rain or sleet and then eventually over back to rain, as it was the case for today as well. But that will not be the case this entire winter. Now, regionally over the last 24 hours, whether it be in the form of snow, sleet, and or rain, we picked up anywhere from just about a half of an inch in most locales across our forecast zones. Now, when we take into account the precipitation events over the last couple of weeks, we're still somewhere between 11 and 25% below normal, and in some cases even more so. In northern New Jersey, we're still at a deficit of 10 inches, but we're picking up from where we've been off over the last couple of months very slowly. And this is the beginning. This was up till yesterday, so this doesn't include today's precipitation event this morning. This includes the previous day, and so we're still some 10 inches below normal in northern New Jersey. As you get through central New Jersey, some 6 or 7 inches below normal, and even parts of southwestern New Jersey still seeing below average normals for this time of the year. And tonight on the aviational weather deck, we're already seeing winds gusting in out of the northwest and drying conditions expected throughout this evening. There was some issues with the lower clouds earlier today and later this afternoon, but tonight and Tuesday, VFR conditions expected mostly with west to northwest winds at about 5 to 10 knots. Tuesday night and Wednesday, mostly VFR conditions expected. There is a small chance of MVFR conditions with snow showers near Allentown around Tuesday evening and rain near Atlantic City and Millville during Tuesday night. Wednesday night through Thursday night, brisk west to northwest winds with an Arctic front, frequent wind gust of 30 to 35 knots expected. There is the potential for higher gusts up to 40 knots, especially Thursday afternoon and evening. Predominantly VFR conditions, but some isolated snow showers could provide brief localized restrictions in our northwestern TAF sites of the Poconos, northwestern New Jersey, and the Hudson River Valley area, primarily Allentown and Reading. Could be in as far south as Trenton, North Philadelphia and Trenton proper. Friday, VFR, and it's cold. Friday night and Saturday, snow likely arrives Friday night, changing over to a wintry mix, and then rain from southeast to northwest across the area on Saturday. Ceilings and visibility restrictions are likely. Before we even get into the models tonight, there is an Arctic front that is just on our doorstep to our west tonight. It will be passing through tomorrow. Strong wind chills in the -0 factor. That is below zero, possible tomorrow night and again on Thursday and also on Friday. These are the actual air temperatures forecasted from the National Weather Service's PROGs. As we go into Tuesday, temperatures already falling off from the highs in the 40s to the upper 30s, and we can see this continuation in the pattern by Wednesday. Temperatures are still in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees, which is about 10 degrees below normal for this time of the year. As we get into Thursday, a lobe that has broken off from the polar vortex, and we'll show this on the model guidance, is going to suggest air temperatures. These are just air temperatures in the 20s. This is not factoring in the wind, where the air will feel like it's in the teens and single digits on Thursday afternoon the further north and west you go. I-80, Poconos, Hudson Valley, Northwest Jersey, get ready to be rocked and socked with some very cold, cold air. The last time we seen air this cold was around Valentine's Day of this year. Friday, temperatures are in the heart of the cold here with this lobe over the top of us. We have lightning winds, but we also have temperatures struggling to get out of the low 20s. Now, this will not last because this lobe will pass rapidly to the north and east. Temperatures will rebound on Saturday. After only reaching the lower 20s on Friday, temperatures will rebound in the low to mid 30s again, and even 40s around the coastal areas here on Saturday. And again, this is closer to normal for this time of the year along the coast, but not so much so for the interior. And of course, on Sunday, we've got temperatures with another cold front moving through with northwesterly flow. Temperatures back into the chillier 40s, which is again a few degrees either side of normal. And on Monday, another front passes through and we go below normal once again. Now, as of this broadcast, the 18Z run of the GFS is still coming in. So, because it's so early in the evening here, so it's not complete yet. So we're going to use the 12Z model guidance from this morning and show you at the top here the 10 millibar temperatures. This is basically into the stratosphere here, and we can see the large area, the gyra here of the polar vortex here. And as we move through time, we see that the polar vortex still has an elongation to it as we head into Saturday, December 17th. And of course, our southeastern ridge here, or Bahama Ridge, is continuing to build. Now, this doesn't mean at 30-40 here that we're above normal in temperature. In fact, what it dictates in the stratosphere is that we've got a lobe of this polar vortex dropping south and east that's going to deliver the Arctic air in place for several days from Thursday into the early part of the weekend before moving back into its normal position with the ridge axis building again across the eastern United States. Now, you have to understand, this is at 10 millibars. This is at the top, nearly the top. It's the upper top of the stratosphere here. And the polar vortex is waxing and waning here and relocating over its position. It's still weak, but you can see it's moving back towards the poles, but there's more warming here occurring in the Pacific as well, and off of the coastline of the eastern United States into Europe here as we head into December 21st. So the latest model guidance is not really promising anything that is solidly blocking that we can see here with the center of the forecasted polar vortex on the GFS back towards the poles as we head into Christmas week. But we can see indications of warming on all sides here around the globe that is trying to break the polar vortex apart, and I'm going to show you that diagram. It shows up here as we enter December 28th, where a reload problem pattern is in effect here, because we're seeing all of this warming now start to occurring on the other side of the pole here, and this means that the polar vortex is once again becoming elongated and stretched. This is going to be a matter of how much of this warming or stratospheric warming occurs to try to break up this from Asia into Canada and actually towards the poles here, that actually tries to break this up and finds one lobe here just over Hudson's Bay with the center. So it's elongated, and we can see that the pattern is going to relax and reload once again. These current teleconnections from the PSD site, which is part of NOAA, Forecast Teleconnection Indices for late last night. Again, the PNA, we would like this to be more positive across the West Coast. Right now it's still negative and forecasted to continue to be negative until after December 26th. So there's definitely going to be a zonal flow in place, and we'll show that shortly. NAO index, again, on the positive side. We need this to go a little bit more negative to get blocking around Greenland or in southeastern Canada to get the cold pool to stay in place for winter storms to be all snow. We're not seeing that yet. The Western Pacific Ice Oscillation Index, again, it was negative. It's forecast to go positive. So this is definitely a change that we're seeing in the pattern, and one that would hopefully follow later for the NAO and the PNA as well, and we're just not seeing that just yet. And this looks correct too with the EPO, but again, for the east coast of the United States, we'd like to see more of a negative NAO and also a positive PNA. That is part one of the video forecast discussion for this evening. Part two with the forecast models and the forecast ahead comes up next.